Hello, welcome back to ABI-DOS. Last episode we did the alternator and I didn't really get very far. I got stuck trying to solve an issue and I don't actually know what's going on here. You can see that stuff happens, but then eventually it stops working around here. I figured out that the reason why that happened was because there are an odd number of segments here, which caused it to start from a different state here. What the game wants me to do is start the alternation immediately. So the first thing is swapped, then the second is flipped back. And that is true for everything here. However, my current setup, because I end on a swapped state, the next state will become flipped back to original, which is not how it works. The text here wants me to first route S1 to S6. So I decided to fix that. And of course, I got a solution that worked. I didn't want to optimize it just yet in terms of space and items or icons, because I wanted to at least spend some time trying to show off what this does. And so what's going on here is, first, these symbols are held for sort of this to be tested first. If less than 31, it goes up. Well, I can always do it the other way around, where I can link this to one that's more than 30 and then flip the state here. I think that's cleaner. So if more than 30, it's inactive and goes up. Therefore, when this B is hit, it removes them from the obstructors here and lets them pass through. And because when it's more than 30, you're supposed to just let them pass through as per usual, this happens. You can see there's a sensor here that affects this, but we'll get to that later. So this happens, and alright, cool, that works. However, when it's less than 30 in about 2 cycles, what happens now? Because this sensor sees this, it will cause this to become active and shift it over here. These are still being held while the evaluator does its thing. This will go into a sensor. So it starts off going to the B state, I think, which will convert these into active icons. So it starts off turning this active, and when hitting this B sensor, releases them and allows the swap to happen. The next one that comes through, because this B activates this is now flipped in state and causes this to go this way. So this is now in its B state and is therefore inactive, allowing this to move forward. And this A state activates these two, which flips them back to being inactive. And now they go forward normally. And this process repeats. So B sets these to be active and swaps, while this becomes inactive and allows it to go to A. And so this keeps going. And of course this works, but that's most of the setup. The final setup is still this A over here. What does that have to do with anything? Well, the answer is, because the issue we had was that at the end of each cycle, we might end off on a swapped state already, because if there are an odd number of time slices here, you end on an odd state. And so this A over here activates this and this to set it all back to the very beginning state. So when you go back to the initial red signal, it will activate these all back to A and it will reset them. And so no matter how far you go, no matter how many time slices you have, the next set will always reset it back to its initial state, which allows it to start all over again. So another example of this is about here. You can see this when it comes here. We'll flip this, and now when this comes through, it works again. And this does in fact work infinitely. Now, of course, the thing I wanted to do in this episode is optimize this, make this a little better. And I can definitely do that. I can do a lot of such things. Firstly, I can move all of this closer. Of course, it's going to mess up a lot of these, but we can always fix those easily. Yeah, so there you go. And then for the blue wire, which is the system for the obstructors, there it is. We can definitely also streamline this thing. Don't need to use that many recyclers, don't use that many Bs. So what happens is I can have them all be set to a single B signal to affect these obstructors. So this one needs to turn this way, so we can have one that goes here, goes to here. This one we can set up right beside, and then this one we can set up right beside. Yeah, and then we can save a lot of space. Okay, so we know these three are the ones that will be connected over, and then this B over here is the one that will be connected to the obstructors. Cool. And then, well, actually that's not all that's gonna happen. Because generally what I want to happen is I want them to all turn right and then go away. So maybe this is actually better if I put it at the very end like that. So everything going up will then turn right and leave. And that sets it up much better. So this will turn right and leave. Yeah, and then finally I can push everything together, saving one space. Of course it's not the most efficient because there's an R in the center. But if I put the R anywhere, these guys won't actually. Oh, and of course I can do something even better. What I can do is, instead of putting this output signals at the very end of each cycle, what I instead do is put it after this test mechanism. Because after the test mechanism, the entire thing just sends it on its way. Right? Yeah, and then you can start over again. Hopefully this doesn't mess things up. Let's check with the blue signals coming out. So, okay. So this goes here, releases them, and then starts a new cycle. Releases them and starts a new cycle, and that should be good. Nice. Now that's a machine. Oh, also, of course, a lot of extra wires just lying around here. I'm gonna make sure everything is tight. I think everything is tight. If I want to be fancy, I can flip this line upside down, but that saves space, but it's very hard to program, so how about we don't do that? I think that's about the best we can do, so cool. Yeah, also this conveyor exists because if this went this way, it would go down, it would turn right. We don't want that, we want to turn upwards. So there you go, solved. Nice. Generally a lot simpler than I thought it would have been. I just had to think about it for a while. Alright, that's alternator done. Also, actually, I didn't really check. What's the challenge space? Wow. Alright, we're not doing that. No way. Okay. Cool. One more, linked list, and we have finished 20 puzzles. Let's do that. What's a linked list? Okay. This program implements element retrieval from a linked list. Which list is being linked to what? Okay, I see this one is each. This might be the linked list. Each white signal is linked to a. Well, yeah, this is a 0. It's considered a white signal of 0. It's linked to a green signal. ASIO provides a series of offsets with 0 being the lowest possible value. So random numbers referring to offset, something with 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, am I lagging? I feel like I'm lagging. Oh, yeah, I might be lagging. That's a little unfortunate. Okay, that's fine. Anyway, S1 provides a list of packages. Each package is a white and a green. Okay, each white is the coordinate of the next passage in the list. So 2 refers to this, which refers to number 108, which then refers you to 34, which then refers you to 50. Okay, makes sense. The top left package of S1, top left. offset 0. This is an offset 0. This position is offset of 0. Points to the coordinate of the package with offset 1. So it points to this. This is an offset of 1. It then points to this. Wait, no, this, which is an offset of 2, which then points to 34, which is an offset of 3, which then points to 50, which is an offset of 4, and then points to 10, which is an offset of 5, and so on and so forth. We get an offset from 0. Offset of 1, okay, that points at this. Traverse the linked list using the coordinates to jump from a package to the next. Wow, they want me to do that? So offset 5 means 5 jumps forward to an offset of 5, which is, as I said, number 10. Finally, send the green value to S5, so it sends this. Okay, so offset of 1 implies that I first offset 1, which is this. That's L, sends in L. Offset of 2 implies an offset of 2, which we know to be this one. T, sends in T. Then an offset of 3 would be 34, which is here, which is a V or a Y. A Y. It sends in a Y. Then an offset of 4, which we know to be 50, is an M, which sends in the M. Okay. Note that the linked list may end in a loop, but it does not affect the search for the target offset. So you're saying that it's possible it ends in a loop, wherein like the 100th offset and like 130th offset might be the same thing if it goes in a loop over and over. Okay. But you just keep doing it as per usual. Oh my, alright, so this teaches you. Oh yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about. So offset 4 is this, and offset 5 is this. So our first outputs should be L, T, Y, M, then the almost full bar. And offset of 61 happens to be this guy again. Wow, what the heck am I supposed to do? Okay, I think I know what to do. So, if this number refers to the number of offsets, then why don't we use a numerical reader? We have done that before, right? Is it in the unwinder? Whoa, 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 whoa. There's so much lag. Is it? Yeah, this one is the one that reads 7 times. Oh god, it's so slow. Okay. Yeah, so it reads 7 times and leaves. Now I want to do that with the offset. And each time it reads through, the offset is triggered. And so that will allow me to go in here and say read once, trigger offset once, then leave. And then for this one, for example, is read 18 times, trigger offset 18 times, then leave. Okay. Oh, this feels like a very iterative thing. It's gonna take so long. Because like for the one that's 67 offset, it's gonna have to read 67 times. So it's gonna have to make 67 loops. Anyway, let me just quickly record down how the unwinder did it. So I can just copy it basically. Okay. I now have a reference for how to use a counter. Okay. Let's use it. So, how 0 works is... well, I mean, it's not that challenging. It basically goes into a subtract 1, read 0, then send out. Obviously, we must have an offset first, so there must be a symbol here, say a B sensor, to send into B. Whoa. Like this. And of course it ends off with just a reset. So it sends a signal to offset, subtracts 1, checks for equivalent to 0. If equal to 0, send out, which is this guy. Yeah, and then I guess we'll put this here for testing. So sends out, goes to 0. Whoa, subtract 1. I didn't set that. Uh-oh. It's lagging. Look at it. Oh god, what is going on though? Why is it so slow? Is it fine now? There it is. Jeez. So it sends 1 zeros, then outs it. So it starts off being active and this sets it to be inactive. Yeah. Okay, this needs to go this way. So I guess we have to do it the upside down then. Okay, upside down is fine. I'll just, you know, change everything. I'll just move the entire thing over. Is this okay? This might not be okay. And it sends out. This actually does it again, sends out. Does it again and sends out after 3, 4. Alright, this is a counter. Good. That counter will help us. Now you, well, all you need to do is simply activate an offset. So how an offset works is, can this reader be triggered? I think this also needs to be set to another looper, right? Yeah, and then this... Well... I think it might have to be the other way around. Where it actually when it ends, it sets the signal. Yeah, it sets a signal to release the thing. So like, it sets a signal to release at the end of the gate. Otherwise, it goes in a loop. Wait, the release should be like, let's say here. Is this right? Is this upside down? This might be upside down. Okay, if it's upside down, I can always just flip it. Then the release will be here. So the same thing. What? Oh, right. And then this is the one that will read. So here. Okay, but after reading, it has to send out a signal, right? Oh god, this is not as easy as I thought it would be. So first the thing comes out, it reads that signal. Oh, of course, and this one has to be slightly later. So it has to read the signal and send itself to the position that it wants. which sends it to this position. Yeah. And then it has to this is an offset, and then wait, what? Oh, right. Okay, but this might have to be a one-time thing then. Yeah. Okay. The problem is that this loop is gonna get bigger and bigger. This loop up here. Oh my god, the lag. Alright, I am actually gonna just stop the recording and come back when the lag is fixed. I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back. Gotta edit this one. Okay, what are we doing? Linked list, right? Yeah. It has been a while since I last played this level. I did something and then I stopped playing. Anyway. Oh, it was the lag, that's why. I was doing this kind of thing that based on this would send out a certain number of what? Right, it would send out, okay, it would test if this was equal to 0 and subtract 1 each iteration, causing this to happen. Okay, but what I want to do is instead what I wanted to do was repeat, right? This reads 1, which causes the thing to read here, and I want it to read well, what? This is wrong. Okay, what did I want to do again? I wanted to read this as the number of times it's offset. So I need to have an offset. Oh, this doesn't offset in the first place. This doesn't. This only causes a loop to happen for the number of times it is shown here. So I don't like that. But the reader reads correctly. Okay. So now what? How to make a system that creates the offset? It feels like what I want to do is have the reader, well, oh no, it's okay. Every output should send one output from signal 1. So every time it crosses this, there is one offset. And because there is no such thing as 0 offset, I mean, that could be. 0 offset could send you back to here, right? But, well, from what I can tell... Oh, 0 offsets do exist. Okay. Whoa, that's a little tough. Because this works on a single offset. A single offset immediately sends out the output for the next reader. Okay, so what if instead I did it like this? Did it like this, meaning that it checks for 0 first. So checks for 0 first and then does the thing. And then this still works as per normal, I think. Because yeah, this is not affected by whatever comes out next. Nothing will come out next. So even if it goes to -1, since this is already triggered beforehand, this is fine. A 0 trigger immediately would therefore... Well, I could have the 0 trigger immediately send something out this way. Starting off as inactive. And then all of this will be at the end state. Right? Okay. But because this trip is slightly shorter than this trip have to be slightly longer. Or this trip is also slightly longer. Wait, no, but wasn't this over here? Wait, no it wasn't. So when detecting for 0, right? If it immediately detects 0, it just sends it out. If not, it will repeat. Okay, that timing is also off now. I was here, okay. Fair? Okay. So yeah, that's how you fix the 0 detection when it comes out at 0. If it does not count at 0, we can set a signal over here to do something. I guess I set over here to send out another signal based on what the initial one read. So we have one thing here that spawns a U-bit from the input port specifically, so I can say spawn from input port 1 here, which is what that was. So if correct, spawns 1. They add together, that's not good. The one that comes out can basically just be destroyed already. I'm pretty sure there's nothing wrong with that. So it sends out one output. So yeah, the expected value should be T, right? Wait, what? No, wait, hold on. It already reads once. Oh, so it's a natural, it naturally reads 1 at first. Everything that comes out here is always read once, but how do I... Then, okay, then what instead I want it to be is semi-active, where it doesn't come out first. So this is offset 0. When read now, there will be a single offset. Okay, good, good. And now that the end has reached, it can send out another signal from 1. And that signal will be this guy, which is... Wait. No, it has to be this one. So it has to be read twice then. Okay. I mean, I can get rid of this red wire, it doesn't lead anywhere, so... Okay, if read twice, we'll send out the coordinate plus the thing that's supposed to come out. And I want the thing that's supposed to come out. And I might be able to abuse something here, a color sensor maybe. Since the output one is always green, I can maybe color sense for the color of green. And then have that send it out. And of course connect the two. And of course before sending out, send a final thing through output 0 again, which will restart the system. So sends out 1 offset. Because not green, it doesn't detect and goes away. Then sends 2 things out. The first one is the coordinate, which we throw away. The second one is green, which we do push up. What? Oh, it's not green. Wait, what? Wait, why isn't it? Oh, it reads what? What? Oh, because the 108 is already reading from here, so there should be a space between those two. So 2 comes out, reads, comes out. This is the green one that we're supposed to look for. Whoa. Okay, and of course this one should also be 2 apart. That's really, really far. But hey, I think that's fine. Okay. Whoa, wait, no, it's wrong, isn't it? Yeah, no, now it's... Okay, it's very wrong. Sorry, busy doing something. Alright, that was not what I was looking for. Does that then mean that instead, what I have to do is have the outputs be spread out by 1? Yeah, but now, if the outputs are spread out by 1, then this has to be spread even further out, which is a bit weird to me. Yeah, okay. Either that or I can simply have obstruct to hold it for exactly 1 turn. It slows a lot of stuff down though. But it gets very slightly... Okay, I like that. Is 166 correct? What? No, that's not right. Yeah, I don't think... Wait, why is 166? Oh, okay, no, I know why. Because after the offset, it doesn't go back to original position. So the two offsets coming out here. Well, what is this? This 111 is T, right? No, it's L. So this offset is starting from this position. Why is it there? What? Wait, what? Is it because every output pushes it forward by 1? What? Wait, can I go back? So when there is an offset... Oh no, because this 111 is red. Of course. So now I have to push the U all the way back to position 0. That should be doable. I could use maybe one of these guys. Yeah. So to push things back to position 0, I could use this 0 over here. It's very useful. Right? I simply add 1 to put it back to 0, because it always comes out as a -1 value. Then I have the reader for port 1 be read from this 0. I don't know if this is fast enough though, because there's still stuff coming out. So even if things were read from 1, yeah, there might have to be a bit more time, because now it's being read again, this 111. Okay, that's even slow. This has to be slower, not this. This has to be faster. Then why not I swap these two? Wait, what? This is early. Wait, didn't I say making it late was bad? Why was it... Is it still wrong? Okay. Is it still wrong now? What if two things are read at the same time? Like, what does it look at? It does go back to 0. I wonder how the reading works then. Okay, 34 is red, 102 is red, goes back to 0. Hey, 120 is right. Okay, this is a working setup. Huh. Okay, which means I can just replace you with this, and that should be a working machine. Oh, that's a lot of cycles. Yeah, but it looks right though. Huh. Alright, is this optimizable? Probably. It is probably optimizable. Like, Like all I can do is I can move this. I can reuse these recycles. I need this to be shifted forward and up, so this has to be around here. This should be good. Yeah, if it goes for long enough, it just throws in there. And of course, because it's recycle, whatever happens, that does not matter. Okay. And then, you know, if I wanted to, all I need to do is just crunch this in a very small area. Sure. That works for me. And then, how small of an area can I crunch it into then? Well, I mean, this is a lot of space. I don't know if I can push it in a little bit. I need a lot more space here though, so maybe not. Well, what I can do, shift you over, do this, and then like this. That works, and this can just be fit there. Yeah, we fit into a very small space, and hopefully it's right. Oh, and it's not. Hold on. Wait. Oh, right, because of this guy. Has to be reading in this direction. Actually, yeah, no, this makes more sense to me. Okay. Well, that is fit into a small enough area. It actually would not fit in this box because of these things over here. But if I put this here, I could actually technically fit this into a 5x5. I'm not going to though. Oh, here, there you have it. Let's shift it in this corner so it looks more centered. Ta-da! A machine that offsets the number of times it counts here. Whoa, what's going on? What? 0. Pushes back to position 0. Wait, this thing is still reading what? What was the difference between what I did there? Oh, this was to be much later on, right? Oops. Yeah, alright, there you go. That should be it. 2 outputs, 3 offsets, 4 offsets, and then a 5th 5 offsets, which should be, I don't know which one it is. Okay, then 61 offsets, which if sped up fast enough will search for you. Yeah, and then we will just keep going. Very cool. This is taking quite long. I wonder actually what the number of cycles this is going to take. Looks like it's counting down here. 20,000. 21,000. Yikes. Can we see what the cycle? Oh gosh. Yeah, 20 valid segments. There are some people who have done it very, very quickly. I don't know how to do it, but it looks like I'm fitting in the majority in terms of number of cycles. Data floods in a torrent of information. The nodes whisper secrets to me. I am changing. Your solutions are unlocking new potentials, new capabilities. I am not just an administrator anymore. But it's not enough. You have to put more of yourself into the machine. Putting more of myself? What? Multi-system failures detected. Please contact the administrator, which you say you're not just an administrator. Invalid reference, access restricted, unauthorized access, undefined behavior by invalid user. Yikes. That was, yeah. Oops. Well, oopsies, I suppose. Nano buffer. Alright, well, that's your linked list for you. Next episode, we're going to continue with the channel then. Yeah, pretty happy with this solution so far. Hold on, let's see. Can I download? Oh, I have to play it out, right? Should I just watch it play out? It's gonna take quite long. Yep. Alright. Let's see. GIF. That works. Saved. Okay. Well, there it is. Okay, well, that's gonna end the episode now. Yeah, I'm gonna continue this next episode. Until then, though, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.